Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. This is Luis Magalong, and welcome to our series, Leadership Black and White. It's a new series of vertical parallel that aims to engage with our viewers about leadership wireframes, best practices, and a combination of vision-oriented and results-driven strategies. It's a tool for every individual, team, community, organization, and culture. Because leadership black and white is where your leadership imprint, which is the vision, and the blueprint, which is your mission, is as clear as black and white. All right. So once again, salamat po for joining us. If this is the first time, don't worry. This is the second episode of our Leadership Black and White, but we are been airing learnings and webinars since pandemic. Okay. We have talked about we have the previous series, which is the Moving Beyond Crisis. And then we started doing the online trainings. I think it's mid-March. But until now, we're glad and we're grateful that there are viewers, there are people who are viewing, learning, I believe, joining us this afternoon as well. So if this is if you've been joining us from the previous series, salamat po. Thank you po sa inyong thank you po sa inyong oras. This is the thing that we really can't pay, okay? Or yung mga priceless na mga bagay, ang oras po natin. So thank you for joining us. Please, if you're joining us, can you do a shout out or sa comment section natin or sa comment area natin so that I can acknowledge you. Ayan, welcome po sa mga una natin joining us. Miss Novia, yan, Cinco, I think. O yan, Miss Novia Cinco. Ayan, hi Miss Chi, and Chi Guerrero. And then Miss Maricel Monreal. Ayan, we have Sir Glenner Viloria. Yan, Miss Jennifer Lopez, thank you po. Thank you for joining us. Talagang natutuwa kami sa for you joining us every time you're having this. So natutuwa kami. Thank you. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you. And if this is the first time you're joining us, I hope this would not be your last because we do have series upcoming. Papakita ko po mamaya. But this afternoon medyo natutuwa ako kanina because I was talking with the speaker. Our speaker this afternoon, kausap ko siya kanina sa parang backstage, parang virtual backstage natin. And I'm so happy because I think I got more dun sa dun sa the leadership style, how he brings the leadership and how he stands by what he's by what he said and what he is doing. Actually, he's a man of parang he walks the talk, no? He's been with the organization I think more than almost a decade na nga yata. So, as I introduce as we continue, as I introduce our speaker, allow me to just show you a few of vertical parallel or our family's announcement sa ating mga viewers. Yeah. All right. Yan, just to show with you. And, oops, sorry. Yan. All right. Yeah, we are vertical parallel. What we do is we bridge you to success. All right. Please like, follow, and subscribe. Vertical Parallel. We are live at Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. We are also present in YouTube. Sabi ng kasama ko sa team, we are may 60 na pong subscribers. So sana po dagdagan nyo po para mas tumaas pa. All right. Also, this event, Leadership Black and White, is brought to you by Vertical Parallel Asia, our group, and Magalong Talks. All right, so please make it a habit to visit our page. What we do is we publish or we do thoughts and quotes every day, daily, para po for your sharing and encouragement because people nowadays or a group nowadays needs encouragement and there's no better way than to read this encouraging. Sabi nga dyan, when God calls us to step out of our comfort zone, He is not calling us to be comfortable in the situation. He is calling us to be comfortable in Him in spite of the situation. So it's a good thought. Right? So please visit. Pwede nyo po i-download or i-share nyo po sa mga kaibigan nyo. So this coming also next week, allow me to invite you September 10 for our Moving Beyond Crisis series. Hindi po yan Leadership Black and White. It's a Moving Beyond Crisis series. On September 10, we'll have Mr. Lito Cornejo talking about mental resiliency, thriving in and transitioning beyond crisis. So also allow me to invite you to our masterclass. Masterclass is a paid training of vertical parallel where we conduct our trainings in 3 types. First is the instructional learning volumes, wherein we do these are training modules in volume details. Second is online-based training workshop where we use the Zoom and or WebEx. These are the platforms that we use for the learning of the participants. And third is the face-to-face or yung typical nating the conventional type of training, which ngayon medyo nakapo siya because of the pandemic. It's because of the physical distancing as well. All right, so allow me to invite you to our yan po, September 21 and 22. It's 8 a.m. to 12 noon. It's outstanding. This is the masterclass of Vertical Parallel. It's outstanding, comprehensive guide of business in building a brand. Putting your brand out for the market while standing strong in the midst of competition. It's a full course on branding and entrepreneurship. Alright, yan, meron po. Yan. This we'll be talking about how to define your brand, the important role of branding in your sales and marketing, how to position your brand, living your brand, connecting with our customers, measuring brand health with a balanced scorecard, and going beyond your brand. So, yan po, September 21, 22, 8 o'clock to 12 noon. Join us. It will be on Zoom. So, for more details, please do DM us at Vertical Parallel Asia. All right? So, yan, before I introduce our speaker, yan po ang organization ng ating speaker for today. It's the Yellow Boat of Hope. Yellow Boat of Hope is a foundation, and the Yellow Boat of Hope Foundation is a volunteer-driven foundation who tirelessly works to improve children's access to education and school as they stay in school. Okay, the Heart to Help started in Barangay Layag-Layag, Zamboanga City, as the group provided boats for transportation of the students who before swam or wade through the waters just to attend school. All right, so with the bayanihan desire and commitment to their philosophy, Yellow Boat continues to thrive and progress in its endeavors with recent projects and structures of bridges and dormitories. So see, nag-level up na siya, no? So allow me to introduce our speaker this afternoon. He is the co-founder, president, and chief Hope Pander of the Yellow Boat of Hope, Dr. Anton Mari Lim. Let's give a round of applause to our Doc Anton Mari Lim as he joins me this afternoon. Doc Anton, good afternoon. Yan. So joining us once again is Dr. Anton Mari Lim. Doc, hi Doc!
Hello, good afternoon po.
Yan. So, Doc, na-share ko na po sa ating mga viewers about what Yellow Boat is doing. But before we delve in or before we continue talking about that, Doc, just lang po, medyo to lighten up. Kamusta po kayo, Doc?
Okay naman, I'm here in Zamboanga right now. I came home before the lockdown and yun nga, very happy I was able to come home. Kasi medyo mahirap talaga kung mahiwalay ka sa family mo.
Oh, yes. Tama yun, Doc, no? We always say nga, no, our speaker will always say na kailangan kasama ang family pagka, nagtatravel. But, Doc, akala ko nag-usap tayo kanina, Doc, akala ko nasa Quezon City ka lang or somewhere. NCR, you're in Zamboanga pala. Wow.
Yes, kaya if there's anything this COVID-19 pandemic did was to bring us closer kahit malalayo tayo.
Oo nga, tama.
Yeah.
Grabe na, hindi ko naramdaman yun. How is the weather there? Umuulan ba dyan, Doc?
No, it's been sunny. My friends were complaining about the rains. Sabi ko, no, it's hot and sunny here in Zamboanga. We have a lot of cases also, but manageable. And it's business as usual naman dito. Everybody will just have to be careful and do their share of protecting themselves and the community.
Okay. No, if you're not there in Zamboanga or you're not with Yellow Boat, what keeps you busy po?
Actually I'm a veterinarian by profession. I've been a veterinarian for over 32 years na. That's my first love, and ever since I was a kid, I really enjoyed being around animals, and I think that's what my dad saw in me. So when he saw me picking up strays, saving chicken from my mother's kitchen and growing them, I started encouraging it and buying me animals wherever he went. So in short time, yung bahay namin naging zoo na. So until may mini zoo na ako sa likod ng bahay namin dati. So that sort of encouraged me until I finally took up veterinary medicine sa UP. And it's been a very enjoyable ride. Tama yung sinabi nila, find a course that you enjoy doing and you don't have to work the rest of your life.
Wow, ang galing. Nakita ko yung doc I don't know if I was able to view yung interview with that's Kabang, no? Yung
Kabang.
the dog Kabang, diba? The dog that got yung na-trim yung ano niya, yung upper jaw niya.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So it made news talaga, no? So galing, no? It's really one of your passion talaga, no?
Yeah.
Galing.
Actually, really, yung mga stories like that, sabi ko nga, Kabang saved the life of the two kids. So now she needs our help. So that's why we tried our best. And through the power of social media, we were able to raise over ₱1 million from
Wow.
30 plus countries contributing their lunch money. So until we got the help for her sa UC Davis. So ang galing talaga yung kwan na yun. And she's now with me. She's staying at our home.
Oh, okay. Wow. Inampan niyo na rin siya doon.
Pinaampon sa akin ng may-ari kasi naprapraning na siya because when of course we gave the city government gave him a housing unit sa may GK area. Doon sila with Kabang, but he works as a vulcanizer. So wala siya sa bahay all the time. So feeling niya parang may mga neighbors daw niya parang gusto i-kidnap si Kabang. So alam niya pag may nangyari kay Kabang, kawawa siya. So he could not stand the responsibility. So he said na, Doc, pakialaga na lang tapos I'll just visit or bring Kabang to me. So he passed away 2 years ago. But even before that, mga 4 years na sa akin si Kabang. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. No? So mamaya mag-usap kami ni Doc kasi hindi ko na alam paano alagaan ng aking dog. Ay, nako. Dahil may alaga naman kami, Doc, but because my daughter loves pets so much, that's why we got the dog. So, but I'll tell you about that sa backstage natin. but anymore to our viewers, we're having Doc Anton. He's the reason that talaga natutuwa kanina. I'm very excited to hear about him. From him about the Yellow Boat of Hope Foundation. So, Doc Anton, you can now proceed sharing with us your slides, and the online stage is now yours.
Okay, the Yellow Boat story is really the story about one person, about how one person can make a difference. No matter, there's no such thing as being too ordinary to make a difference. There's no such thing as being too poor not to make a difference. There's only an intent, the compassion, the will to do something. So that's what Yellow Boat is all about. And I just want to share stories about Yellow Boat that hopefully will inspire you to do something. Instead of common sa atin is when we see a child suffering, ay kawawa naman yan, then we turn our head around and we start doing the usual thing. But here is a story where because of what Jay saw, we continued to do something until nangyari na ang where we are now. Okay? Okay. Okay. So, never underestimate the power of one simple deed. So that's basically encapsulate what the Yellow Boat is. So that's our first boat. The first boat was simply called Bagong Pag-asa. It's colored yellow because it's supposed to be a school bus on water. So the name Yellow Boat was, Bagong Pag-asa was given by our first community leader in Layag-Layag. When we turned over the boat to him, tinanong namin, what does this boat symbolize? Sabi niya, this symbolizes a new hope for the community. A new hope because finally, after 20 years of praying to Allah, ngayon napakinggan kami, and parang if Allah granted us this wish, we know yung ibang wish namin, ibang prayers namin will be answered in due time. Just like it took a lot of years for them to get the boat that will transport their kids to school. So, as of now, we have 4,758 boats. That's half of that are yellow school boats, while the other half are adopt a fisherman boats. That means ito yung mga binigay namin as livelihood projects to fishermen who lost their boats during calamities. Typhoon Sendong, Pablo, then you have Yolanda, and ongoing ngayon. We have built also 5 dormitories, 26 yellow adventure boats, and 5 bangkarunungan boats all over the Philippines. So this is our first community in Layag-Layag. So nakita nyo, it's houses on stilts. So ito nga sabi nila, ito yung pinaka resilient proof. Ito daw na kahit bumabaha, okay sila, high tide, low tide, hindi nagpa-flood. So sila yung resilient proof community actually. Okay, this is the community. Kids here, actually, the smaller kids needs to swim to go to school. Yung mga medyo matatangkad na, medyo of age konti, they can wade in water. But the first time somebody shared with us this story, my first reaction to the sharing of Jay was, baka may somebody just trying to scam us, or Jay was also in disbelief. So medyo kami, we said we have to find that community because that community happens to be in Zamboanga, where I'm from. Okay, so presently we have 202 yellow boat communities nationwide. That's in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. So if you ask me, if in our wildest imagination, we have thought of this, we can grow this big. No. We thought that was just that one boat thing. After that, tapos na yung project namin with Jay. So we have different programs. Kasi hindi naman lahat ng needs is just kids swimming to school. Some of the access are actually kids hiking several hours to go to school. Some wala talagang school. So medyo nagsanga-sanga na lang yan because now, because of the need. So that's the reason why I have different programs right now. So there are 5 main programs. We have the Yellow School Boat Project. Ito talaga yung heart and soul of Yellow Boat of Hope Foundation. This is where we started, and this is the closest to our heart. Yung Adopt a Fisherman naman, Adopt a Fisherman Project, we did this by accident because during the typhoon in Davao, it's Typhoon Pablo, pumunta kami doon, we turn over the boats to replace the boat that was destroyed by Typhoon Pablo. So ito yung mga boat ng mga high school kids that they used to go to school. So during the turnover, medyo marami yung boat kasi maraming estudyante. A group of fishermen came to us, galit na galit, because akala nila government kami and we were giving boats, and how come they're not given. So we explained to them about yung concept namin, why we're giving it is for the kids to be able to go back to school and bring some sort of normalcy to their lives. But tama naman ang fisherman. Sabi nila, Doc, hindi niyo ba napag-isipan yan? If you don't give us boat, our kids cannot go to school also. Because sabi nga nila, of course, wala kaming boat. So anong magagawa namin? Maghihimas kami sa shoreline. So what? I need help. I need help from my kids sa paghihimas just for us to get enough to sell or even enough to put food on the table. So medyo that's like a light bulb moment to us. Na-realize namin that if we want to help put kids to school, we have to take care of the livelihood of the family. So it's a holistic approach. Then of course we have the Yellow Dorm of Hope. Because of the remoteness of the communities, and alam naman natin yung school natin sa Philippines, malalayo talaga. You don't have one school in every barangay, especially when you're in far-flung areas. So a lot of, like in Sibugay, kids hike 6 to 8 hours. One way yan just to get to school. Just imagine you waking up at 3 in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. Syempre, sobrang aga pa. Walang kuryente, how can they cook? So no, they go to school, they hike to school without breakfast. So by the time they reach the school, medyo late na siya. Sabi nga ng teacher, pagod na, tulog. So by the time they wake up, uh, it's time for them to head back home. So what kind of learning can we expect from these kids? That's why we build them Yellow Dorm of Hope, where they stay there and get to go home only during weekends. So during that time, they stay about 30 of them in one comfortable place. They get to cook and we ask them to plant their own vegetables. We teach them how. So ang surrounding area, surrounding communities will just provide the rice and meron na silang provision. And of course, one of the teacher who's staying far-flung area also stays with them in the dorm. So we have the male dorm and the girls dorm. Okay. Tapos, we have the Yellow School of Hope. A lot of times when we give them boats, ang nangyayari is the principal will tell you, Doc, Jay, nako, kasalanan nyo to. Because of the boats that you gave to the community, ang daming mga bata ngayon gusto mag-aral because it's safer. They can go to school easier and hindi nababasa. Ang daming gustong pumasok. So anong consequence niyan? Napupuno yung mga classroom. So yung hallway nila nagiging classroom, or yung mango tree nagiging classroom. So it's a good problem to have. That's why we have the Yellow School of Hope. So we construct extra classroom for them to accommodate yung bagong students na pumasok because of our school boats. So in some areas also, wala talagang school. Even they have to travel from one island to the next island just to be able to get to school. So we cannot keep on giving boats naman because there's always another nearby who needs boats. And ang inisip namin, okay, why don't we build a school in that community para yung mga bata, yung main community, doon na lang sila. Then we'll give boats to the smaller islands so that they don't have to travel like 1 or 2 hours by boat just to get to school. So that's where our Yellow School of Hope began. Then we also have the Yellow Boat Adventure. So ito yung mga kwanto, mga programs namin, it born out of need eh. So wala talaga sa plano yan, parang Lego yan. Once you start piecing them together, bigla na lang may small piece that you can attach. So ito yung Yellow Boat Adventure naman sa isang community here in Zamboanga. Wala talaga because of the distraction the fishermen did sa environment nila, wala na silang ma-fish, lahat ng coral sira na. So gutom talaga. So what do? They resort to destroying the environment. So there's a mangrove community there. So mga turtle eggs kinukuha nila, binebenta nila, lahat ng mga jellyfish and they become the destroyer because syempre everybody needs to survive. So yun, naging Yellow Boat Adventure to. So wherein we give them boats so that they can use the boat to bring tourists in and guide them around the very nice virgin mangrove ecosystem. Now because they're earning from it, they have to protect the ecosystem. So from destroyer, they become eco-warriors. So this is another sanga ng Yellow Boat Adventure. Then of course, we have the Yellow Bridge of Hope. Actually, it's more of a pathway, but mas maganda yung pakinggan ni Yellow Bridge eh. Mas kwan daw eh. Mas social. So we use this, and from the picture you see, it's actually made of bamboo, but we're building one that's made of concrete because open sea siya. No, not really open sea, but it's a mangrove community. Ito naman sa picture, this is in Cagayan de Oro. So we gave them boats. If you see from afar, you can see some yellow boats there. But sobrang dami yung boats. So inisip namin, anyway, it's a small area lang naman, and we can always build this bridge. It's affordable, and somebody wanted to donate. So we went ahead and built the bridge so that we don't have to keep on building new boats. So mas efficient, mas cost efficient siya for the foundation to build a walkway than to keep on building boats for them. Kaya nagkaganyan din yan. And our last one, this is Bangkarunungan. It has a very funny story to it. si Sir Windel, he's an ALS teacher. He kept messaging us sa Facebook, telling us of his predicament. Being an ALS teacher, walang available boat for them to go to mga islands where he teaches the kids. Kasi walang school so he goes there, they bring the school to the kids. So they have to hire a boat, and every time they go out, they have to pay over 1,000 pesos. So that comes from their own pocket. So medyo mabigat. So hindi namin nabasa yun kasi at that time we were so busy. Hindi namin nabasa yung mga mga messages niya until one of our volunteers brought it to our attention. Sabi na, Doc, look at this, si Sir Windel Alvarez. So ang daming, very persistent and keep on asking, can you please help? Can you please help? So until finally, I messaged him, and true enough, what they're doing is very heroic. And instead of the kids going to school, the bangka will bring teachers to the different coastal communities to teach them. So at first, makeshift lang yan. So if you look at the pictures, each bangka will have their own, may mga tackle boxes yan of books, school supplies, paper, everything. Tapos may tent. So pag landing ng boat sa shoreline, yung mga teacher magsa-set up ng tent, and that's where they hold classes. But naawa yung mga parents sa community. So what they did, they started to build a classroom made of mga branches of trees in the area. So when Windel shared that, sabi ko parang ang sakit sa dibdib, di ba? Here is a community who really wants education, and tingnan mo yung kwan nila, it's parang kawawa. And ginawa at that time, it was just kids, but alam mga Pinoy, mga nanay will bring their kids to the makeshift classroom, and when Sir Windel teaches, yung mga nanay sumasama din, sumasali. Yung pala, they really wanted to learn because the parents never had the opportunity to get an education. So parang they became interested. So ngayon, to make the story short, we build them a 2-story classroom. In the morning, mga estudyante, mga kids. In the afternoon, it's alternative learning naman for the parents. So meron kami ngayon mga 50 years old, 55, 60 years old, graduating from grade 6, graduating from high school because they took the comprehensive exam, equivalency exam of DepEd. And you should see their faces when they get their diploma. Kasi finally may K na daw sila magsabi sa mga anak nila, mag-aral kayo. Kasi walang mangyayari sa iyo pag hindi kayo nag-aral because they finish high school. And di na sila maluloko ng mga tao because they learn how to read, they learn how to count, and for the first time, sabi ng isa, he voted with not using a stamp, yung thumb mark niya, but actually signed his name. Grabe, no? So empowering. So, ano yung mga takeaways from all the programs that we're doing? That there is power in one. So, kung talaga yan, you might be one, but if you keep on doing it, I'm sure God would send so many angels along your way, and believe me, if your intention is pure, you'll never be one. Because in short, to change the world, all we really need is one person to care. That's all you need. If only one person will do something, you can uplift the life of even just one person. You can never know where that one good deed will stop. It will replicate. So this is actually our fire starter. Sa kanya galing yung story. That's Joljimar Gonzalez. Siya yung nakakita sa community dun sa Layak-Layag. Siya yung nakakita ng mga bata lumalangoy to go to school. Siya yung nagkwento kay Jay, and because of that, we have the Yellow Boat of Hope story. And this is Jay. Nung kinwento sa kanya ni Joljimar, Jay was so bothered that when he went home, he posted on Facebook, kids swim 2 kilometers to school. So that created a lot of buzz. That post became viral. And we have people asking how they can help. What are we going to do? Are we going to just post about it, or are we going to do something? One of them was marketing guru Josiah Go, who was our first donor. And this was me when I found the community. And these are the one to our left, the one with the sunglasses. That's Jess Jamolot. Siya yung nakahanap ng community right in his backyard. Yung layag-layag pala, behind, it's an informal community behind a mangrove. So nobody knew nandun sila. And ang first servant leader namin, ang boat maker namin was Abraham Mawadi. So siya yung first leader namin sa Zamboanga. And up to now, we're still in contact with him. Mga anak niya, mga college graduates na, mga ibang kids in that community are now employed. Some are abroad, some are working with government, some are sponsoring their siblings to go to school. So ito yung mga pioneers. So I always love talking about them because without them, there's no now. So that's layag-layag. I'll just go through this. This is how they go to school. So if you're a smaller kid, about 4 or 5 years old, there's no way for you during high tide. These kids will have to swim. So second takeaway is there is power in every story. If Jojimar Gonzalez didn't share the story, didn't care enough to share the story to Jay, wala sanang Yellow Boat of Hope Foundation, and over 35,000 kids would not have been helped because of kung hindi niya shinare yung story. So even just a story, even just simple sharing sa Facebook, you'll never know where it will end up. Stories do not only have the power to change the life of those you help, it has the power to change our life too. Just by what happened sa Yellow Boat, hindi naman more than what the kids got. It is what we got out of helping them that really is mind-boggling for me. Like, if you ask me, do I see myself doing this 9 years ago? I could not imagine myself doing this or even thought of being able to do this. So more than changing the lives of our recipient, it is our life that was changed. So it is important that we move from me to we. Invert natin yung M. Because if it's always about us, walang mangyayari. Because if it's always about me, and me, sabi nga ng mga vitamin I, or me, walang mangyayari because we will not be sharing the story. We will think so highly of ourselves that we will not think about sharing the story, sharing that advocacy, or partnering with people because we might think that, it will dilute our presence in the community, but it's never about us. It's about the community. And the more people will help, the more impact there will be. And now the buzzword is collaborative impact. And that's really how it should be. So it's very important that we skip that chapter of me and go straight to the chapter of we. Because alone, you may accomplish something, but together we can accomplish more. Sabi nga nila, #better together. So this is bayanihan din. Let me share you some pictures. Galing nito. Ito yung concept natin ng bayanihan. A neighbor moving house kasi nag-asawa or magmumove kasi doon magtatanim. This is bangkanihan now. Ito yung sa Yellow Boat community. You have foreigners, you have kids, you have soldiers, you have elderly, you have the youth. Everybody helping one another, achieving a purpose of educating or ensuring a kid can go and finish school. So, ito yung bangkanihan now. So let me share you this video that is okay. Let me see. There. Yan. So this is about community helping themselves. Okay, ito yung pathway na binild namin. Medyo malayo yun, but it cost us only 50,000. Bakit? The whole community helped us. So instead of spending 30-40% on labor, we got to save and we got to build them this. So kahit umulan ngayon, they can still plant their rice and the kids can still go to the school. And ito yung school namin where the makeshift school was in Sitio Lipata. So they have this now in their community. So ito naman. So ito naman sa Maluso in Basilan. So we built them a floating school kasi yung school nila, yun, naging maliit na. First, we just remodeled it. Tapos nung dumami yung student natin, dumami, wala na kaming choice. We have to extend and put in more classrooms so that may grade 3, grade 4, grade 5 na kami. So, ito yung gusto kong pakita sa'yo. How do you pile drive cement posts in the middle of a mangrove community? Siyempre, hindi naman pwede yung pile driver dyan. You cannot bring in the machine. But look at how they did it. Yan. How ingenious, di ba? So that's over 100. That's over 100 cement piles that they did. Grabe talaga yung kwan. That's the fathers naman. So that's how the school looks now. So that's the Yellow Boat of Hope story. So I hope you learn a lot and I hope you were inspired because sabi nga nila, it's not about we, it's about what all of us can do.
Thank you, Doc Anton. Thank you for sharing that. Galing. Hindi ko pa ako makaget over do sa mga shinare na slides si Doc Anton. It's for us, one of the takeaways I think na I got the 3 takeaways. I noted that. But also I think one of the reasons I think there's a reason why we were able to meet with Doc Anton in Yellow Boat. So to our viewers right now, nakita nyo po kung paano. Actually, ang takeaway ko for me was the education. No? So for others who have been given the privilege, an opportunity to learn, but let's get deep on that, understanding na not all are not given the privilege to learn. So galing, no?
Yeah, very powerful yung story. Where former DepEd Secretary Brother Armin saw the video. He was sabi niya, let me show this to the teachers. Let me show this to Lasal. Because mga bata doon, naka-aircon na, dekotse na, and yet they complain all the time. So, so pinapakita niya yung how these kids, in spite of having so little, really compensated with effort to get an education. Because alam naman nila that's their way out of poverty. Yan yung nakikita namin. Every time we go to a community, a far-flung community, we don't see poverty. We see people fighting to get out of poverty. Yan talaga always ang nakikita namin. And sa mga communities na ganyan who have given up hope on themselves, how can we give up hope on them? Yun yung kailangan talaga. Yun yung mga areas na masyado madilim, na sabi nga niya, all you need to show hope is just yung kahit a matchstick lang is enough to illuminate kasi sobrang madilim, sobrang mga tao doon, they feel so hopeless na konting spark lang is enough to ignite hope. And once you give hope to a community, they're unstoppable.
Thank you, Doc, for that. I just wanted to also highlight yung operating philosophy of the Yellow Boat. I actually wrote this down. When you said the great thing a little lamp can do, which the big sun cannot do, is to give light at night. It shows no one is superior by size, but by purpose. If we cannot do great things, we can do small things in a great way. Little and small things can make a big difference in every child's life. I like the operating policy. Doc, can you share with me? Can you share with us yung what came up or how you came up with the operating policy philosophy?
Actually, kwan yan eh. It came out of observation ng mga tao. Sinasabi sa amin, why would you go to this community, travel like hours just to get there and help just 10, 15 people? So parang, well, you can do this in Metro Manila. No, sa Metro Manila, you just go out for 30 minutes, travel for 1 hour, and you can help thousands. So yun nga, sabi nila, it's not numbers eh. It's never about the numbers. It's never about our comfort. It's about helping yung mga bata na walang-wala. Because sabi nga nila, all it takes, you never know what these kids will amount to. Malay mo, itong kid na to will become the best president that we will ever have, or this kid will discover the cure to cancer, or this kid will discover the vaccine for COVID. So a lot of things hindi natin alam. Kasi I always feel that talent is universal eh. When God created us, lahat matatalino tayo. But it's the lack of opportunity that these kids that is stopping them from reaching their full potential. So kaya, yun yung ginagawa natin. So it's not kung malaking project ba yan, maliit ba yan, or maliit ba yung organization, or you're a big organization like the UNICEF. So it's not about the size, eh. It's about the purpose. It's about your mission.
Thank you, Doc. Medyo ano pa rin ako. I'm really glad to hear this from people like you who have been applying the servant leadership. So actually, part to our viewers right now, no, tinatanong ko lagi for the leadership black and white, I always ask the resource person or the speaker, what's their one word of leadership? No? So, Doc, baka gusto
Sabi ko kasi when I was asked, sabi ko one word. Sabi ko, anyway, this is about leadership. So kung one word, servant na lang. Yun naman talaga yung role natin, utusan. So actually, when the community is in need, Doc, kailangan namin ng printer. Doc, kailangan namin ng bagong bangka. Doc, kailangan namin ito. So yun naman talaga, so servant talaga. Kinabit na lang yung leadership sa dulo. Pero it's really very heartwarming because while yun nga utusan ka, but yung impact ng yung donation ng printer sa isang school, grabe yung impact. You're talking about hundreds of kids who will be empowered. So sabi nga nila, no, yung ang difference ng strong and empowered malaki. Like in times of crisis now, sabi nga nila, kung weak ka, you'll be eaten up, you'll be destroyed by the crisis. Kung strong ka, you will survive the crisis. Pero kung empowered ka, you'll be defined by the crisis. So, yun yung kailangan natin eh. We have to empower more people because we cannot do everything alone. Wala naman, we're not Superman. Even Superman, may hangganan din. May kryptonite pa rin. So, if you share this, if you empower a lot of people, it's like replicating yourself. And when you replicate yourself, one part of the problem is solved by other people. So you can focus on other things. So yun yung goal talaga natin. And we're very happy that in our Yellow Boat communities, ang daming nagsusuputan ng leaders and now who are really inspiring in their own way and who are inspiring a lot of community members to follow them also. And now they are internationally awarded people, they are nationally awarded people, and they have stayed true to the mission. Kahit na ganyan na sila, talagang lahat sila mga servant pa rin sa community nila.
Galing. Yan. You heard it first from Doc Anton when he said about servant leadership. One aspect also that I saw kay Doc Anton to our viewers is when he highlighted those people na behind those. So we're just listening from Doc Anton, but we have Sir J, we have Junji, we have the new part si Windel Alvarez for the Bangkarunungan, no? I think I was able to meet one of the friends of Windel, si Ruben. No? What they do is when they visit the island, si Ruben naman is a basketball coach. So what he did, nagturo sila ng basketball coach. Kasama sila Windel, no, sa Bangkarunungan. So
Yeah.
it's nice to hear these stories. That it's really a blessing to hear from these people. And I like the character that you've shown, Doc Anton, when you honor the team members behind the yellow boat. So you honestly, few leaders I've seen, leaders who have been taking the accolades, but not with your group. I saw the heart in your group, and ang galing, ang galing. I cannot define right now how it is and how you were able to, how the team was able to embrace that kind of character. Uh, any thoughts on that, Doc?
It's really, wala yan. You cannot lecture this eh. You cannot lecture. You really have to believe it yourself. And you really to be honest to yourself also. If you think about it, what you did was to provide direction. Sabi nga nila, Kwan eh, it's not about us eh. We're just instruments eh. Actually, the one who directed everything is nasa taas. So tayo, utusan lang tayo. So servant lang talaga tayo ng nasa taas. So because yung meeting them is also an accident, quote and unquote, because also we always tell people that nothing happens by accident actually in life. This meeting you and going live in your program is really not an accident because we don't know what one person watching this right now, what this will do to his life. Or one guy who's depressed or thinking of what to do with his life after listening to this, kung kaya ni Doc Anton, kaya ko rin, mas matalino ako. So, it's showing by example that when they see you doing this in and out, when everybody sees the top leadership doing this, living this, they cannot do otherwise eh. They will absorb this eh. They will absorb. Sabi nga nila it's very important that the leadership will be very resilient. Dapat hindi defeatist attitude. Like when itong COVID nangyari, I have to admit there was a point in time na medyo, nako, patay tayo. I'm sure a lot of people will cancel on the commitment. Ang daming hindi na itutuloy yung donation. Wala na tayong... But the exact opposite happened. We got more big partners now partnering with us. We get a lot of inquiries. We get a lot of volunteers who wanted to do. In Romblon, you have Ruel Vizca. Just doing Hope in a Box. It's pinakabagong program namin. Since naka-lockdown yung mga bata, 6 months na walang inaaral, so sabi ng child psychiatrist, yung window of opportunity mo nawawala. Kasi yung mind ng bata, when they age, they get to absorb certain things at certain age fast. So if you pass that, wala na. And you have to keep on nurturing that love for learning ng bata. So ang ginawa niya, Hope in a Box. School supplies, coloring books, pens, put it in a box, personally wrapped in a shoebox by volunteers. They went out and give to the kids and teach them how to read, how to do math, everything. So, yung creativity, yung love for learning, medyo na-rekindle ng mga bata. And now they're longing to go to school. So, things like this. And hindi naman kami lahat nag-isip niyan. You have, like Ruel, siya naman nag-isip niyan. May isang leader din kami, si Father Bong. Si Father Bong from the Polillo Islands, na from Kuya Prudy is from. He's helping us build a big boat also, because Father saw the kid na sobrang overloaded yung isang boat. Medyo ang laki ng wave sa Polillo. So siya yung natatakot for the kid. So he went out of his way contact us, and now we're building a boat. And this is not about, it's not even Yellow Boat. The Rotary Club of Del Monte is actually donating the money, and Father Bong and the volunteers are building it. So, hindi naman, it's really not about us eh. Parang conduit lang kami. And because we've been doing this a lot of times, we got some system going already that we can do it cheaper and more effective. So how can you claim credit for that when in actuality, wala?
Galing. It's a collaboration of all players
Yes.
being part. And then I like what you said, yung volunteerism. But to our viewers right now, please do click like heart if you really got inspired dun sa story ng Yellow Boat of Hope Foundation by Doc Anton. You please do visit their page, and you can see the pictures. Actually, I saw one of the pictures yesterday ba yung Doc, yung dalawang best tank na water.
Yeah.
Yun.
That's for our Santa Cruz Yellow Boat Adventure community. Kasi yung island, wala silang fresh water. So they have to go travel to the main island in Zamboanga, buy water in bidon, and bring it there. So mga bata doon, wala silang, they take a shower sa salt water. Or kung may fresh water man, that's a luxury. They do it once a week or even once a month. Most of the time, doon sila naliligo sa dagat. So I remember when Etsy Corporation donated the water slug, it's like a floating water tank that pulled by a boat. Pagdating doon, transferred to a tank. First time nila makaligo ng fresh water, nagkagulo yung buong community. Kasi they were so amazed at yung shampoo, yung soap, kasi bumubula siya. Yung parang, hey, it never happened to us. Of course, when you do that sa seawater, di ba? Hindi magbubula. So, small things that when I was looking at it, I was so happy. But that's a vision shared by another really kind-hearted person who passed away just recently. 1 year na pala. Si Mami Gina Lopez of ABS-CBN Foundation. So, sila yung tumutulong kapartner namin sa Santa Cruz Island naman.
Wow. Nakita ko yun. You can see, if you check the pictures of Doc Anton, you'll see the two best tank. For others, yan na. Gusto ko yung sinabi ni Doc Anton. I just wanted to highlight and emphasize on that. Sa atin, tayo here in Manila, parang the water is free for us. I mean, we're able to enjoy it. But for others, it's a luxury. So,
yes,
those small things that you don't appreciate, please do. Be grateful that you have it right now. And be grateful to also share it to others. Sabi nga ni Doc Anton, we are servants, but honestly, we're not servants. We are conduits of God's blessing to other people. And then sabi doon, I like what Doc Anton said. Yung parang when he who refreshes others refreshes himself. At the end, tayo pa rin yung
yes.
we're blessed, we're refreshed on this. So Doc, before we proceed, sorry, napahaba kasi na-enjoy ko yung ni Doc Anton. Doc, can you share with us what yung volunteerism and the sweat equity of Yellow Boat Foundation have?
Yeah, when we started, I got this from a mentor sa Tsuchi Foundation. Sa Tsuchi Foundation kasi, sabi ng mentor namin, she's a Buddhist nun, Dharma Master Cheng Yen. Sabi niya, we're here for a reason, and not serving others is a privilege not afforded to everyone. Not everyone is given the honor or privilege to help other people. So when you have that privilege, and when God gave you that grace to be able to help other people, you have to pay for that. So what do I mean by paying for that? So kung may mga trips kayo to go out for a medical mission or a community service, yung pamasahe, yung hotel, yung pagkain, you have to pay for it kasi you pay for the privilege of serving. So actually, kwan lang yun. In short, walang pera yung organization. You have to pay your own way. No, pero the concept of everybody taking ownership of the organization, putting in resources is very mind-boggling. truly it's really paying for the privilege of serving. Yung sweat equity naman, when you give something to a community without them doing anything, that's dole out. And sabi nga nila, sabi nga the great Tony Meloto of GK, if you keep on doing that, giving dole out, nawawala yung dignity ng tao. Unti-unti nawawala yan until they really become beggars and cannot think of anything else to do except ask. So the only way to do that is demand sweat equity from them. And by doing that, they maintain their dignity while receiving help. And for us sa Yellow Boat, perfect talaga siya eh. When people help you build boats, their own boats, you can be very sure, kompleto ang recados dyan. Tama yung materials ginamit. And the way they did it, it's the best quality boat kasi they're going to use it themselves eh. So kung nawala dyan ng isang plywood, nawala dyan ng isang kilo na copper nails, that means yung boat nila is missing one plywood and missing 1 kilo of copper nails. So that will amount to a weak boat that they'll be using. So by demanding sweat equity, may sense of pride sila eh. And may story sila. Again, this is about telling a story. They can tell a story to their kids na, oy, si Papa tumulong dyan. Yung ginagamit natin, ako gumawa niyan. So, it's very empowering for them. Especially sa mga community na oy, I can be of service pala. Kahit mahirap ako, makakatulong pala ako. Poverty is not a hindrance to helping your neighbor. And from that small thing, lumalaki yan eh. Now they started talking with their neighbors. They starting helping their neighbors, cleaning the whole community. Dati, they just clean around their houses. Now, buong beach, nilinis nila kasi dumadami yung bisita. They want to be proud of their community. So, it's about that mindset over time becomes bigger and bigger. Then they start dreaming bigger things eh.
Wow, thank you. Thank you, Doc Anton. I just wanted to pick off where Doc Anton said, no? Ang galing that the sweat equity, actually, I also learned that from Tito Tony, no, when he shared about giving that such dignity and eventually giving them the understanding of excellency. Sa bagay, sino ba naman gagawa ng para sa'yo, hindi mo gagawin maganda. So you
Tama.
make it, you go around your 100% because you have to be excellent kasi ikaw gagamit. So, ang galing, no? To our viewers, I know that you do have a lot of questions. I may konti lang yung masagot natin at konti lang nasagot to the viewers who have held their host or watch party. Thank you. Dahil alam ko po nag-host kayo ng watch party so that this episode can be viewed by other people. And to those people who are catching up, don't worry, hindi po namin siya buburahin. We will still have this later this afternoon. You can still watch Doc Anton and the Yellow Boat of Hope Foundation. Ang galing po. Today is a very satisfying time for us. Before I continue with the closing announcement, Doc Anton, any last or final thoughts?
Yes, I would just like to thank this opportunity. Thank you for inviting me, Kuya Luis, and of course, Kuya Prudes, for this honor. Actually, when we're invited to share our story, we're very excited. As you can see, I talk most of the time. We're very excited because this is not about my story. It's not about Jay's story. It's not about the co-founder story. This is about the story of people who decided that they want to make a difference and now are inspiring so many people in their communities. So if you can, I know you can feel it that I have this strong sense of pride sa mga community leaders namin because it's really them who's doing a lot of things. And yung mga students namin ngayon who are now graduating, who have graduated, who are gainfully employed and passing it forward. So ito yung mga kayang gawin. And again, everything happened because one person cared enough to share the story and one person cared enough to post it online. So if you think you're one person, you amount to nothing, think again. social media is very powerful and it's there, it's free. So you can use it to to do to harm other people. You can but you can choose to do good. um, Choose doing good because you don't know what that single click, that single share, that watch party can do to the lives of other people watching. So stay true, stay blessed, count if you feel depressed, count your blessings one by one. And I'm sure you have you have you consume the whole day just by counting. So again, thank you very much and hope you are inspired as I'm really inspired every time I'm invited to talk about the Yellow Boat story.
Thank you, Doc Anton. Thank you for sharing with us your story. Thank you for sharing the Yellow Boat of Hope story. It's truly inspiring. I think this is one of the best episodes that we had. I hope to have Doc Anton on the next episode to sana makasama natin si Doc Anton. Please do click like heart kung na-enjoy kayo. Ako po na-inspire ako sa story na shinare and milestones na binahagi ng Yellow Boat of Hope. Doc Anton, I'll just put you in the waiting room as I close.
Thank you po. Thank you.
All right, so everyone, it's really a privilege to be of service to others. I like what Doc Anton said, and we always teach it also when we teach a servant leadership. No, but before that, allow me to just show you my last slides. Ayan nyo lang po ma-promote ko lang po properly ang aking mga huling ano. Yan, again, this event we interviewed one of the Chief Hope paddlers, si Doc Anton of the Yellow Boat of Hope. Also, allow me to invite you to our Productive Leadership, September 18 to 19, 2020, 1 to 5 p.m. It's a full course on productive leadership. This is where we talk about understand leadership and management skills for moving up managers and supervisors in order to perform better, identify knowledge, skills, and appropriate behaviors required for effective leadership, evaluate your own preferred leadership style and learn how to modify it across a range of everyday works situations, use coaching tools to improve team performance, decision-making model as well, and measurable commitment to results and other productivity strategies. Ayan. So, upping up leadership potential, September 18 to 19. I encourage you to join us. It's gonna be on, again, September 18, 19, 1 to 5 p.m. Also, Outstanding, nasabi ko po kanina, no? I would like to invite you to Outstanding. It's a comprehensive guide of business and building a brand, putting your brand out and for the market while standing strong in the midst of competition. We'll talk about, or we'll discuss is that this is a masterclass, so we'll study about important role of branding in your sales and marketing, how to position your brand, how to live, connect with your customers, live within your brand, measuring brand health, and going beyond the brand. So it's a full course, September 21 to 22, 8 a.m. to 12 noon. I'm encouraging you. This is a good masterclass as well. Also, we have the behind the scenes. This is a volume 2 of public delivering high impact presentations. We'll have Mr. R.D. Abelio on September 26, 2020, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So it's a masterclass. If you want to deliver results and be the best presenter you can be, learn from one of the country's top speakers and an international speaker. He is an executive coach, a certified John Maxwell trainer, and more. He is Mr. R.D. Abelio, and some of the topics would be envision your presentation, anchoring your presentation to the main or on the main objectives of your audience, entertain your audience, connect with your audience, engineer your presentation, start high and end high. So yan, please do like, follow, and subscribe Vertical Parallel. We are present in YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. So also, join us. Yan po. Sorry, yan. Next week, September 10, 2020, we'll have Mental Resiliency with Mr. Lito Cornejo. Yan po ang ating Moving Beyond Crisis series. As I always say, the Moving Beyond Crisis series will always be free. Okay, so even the leadership in black and white. Okay, so master classes, these are the paid trainings of Vertical Parallel. Please do visit our page, Vertical Parallel Asia. So please click like. If you enjoyed this topic this afternoon, please click like. Sa mga nag-host ng watch party, salamat po. Thank you po. And to our viewers, thank you for your time. I appreciate your time. We're grateful that you've been supporting us. And also, I hope you got inspired with this, with our topic today about servant leadership that was shared by Doc Anton. if there's one thing that I got another sorry, marami po akong takeaways, no, but as I end, I think um one of the key takeaways that I would as we end right now is we may not have the grandest things right now. We may not have the sufficiency. Okay, as we always will, as we and we will always be in lack, but God will provide for us. But more than that, I want you to understand that the small things that you have right now, be grateful about it because these are the things that blessings gives. And also, the small things that you have right now will not hinder you from doing great things. Tama yung sabi nito, Anton, no? A single click, a single like, or somebody to share, or just the heart to put that into action, even that small thing. So the question is, what do you have right now? What do you have right now that you can use? What do you have right now that you can bless others with? And what can you do right now? Even the simplest things that will change the life of others. We're talking about multi-generation here. We're talking about intergeneration. I mean, where it transitions from one generation to the other. That's the legacy that we would like to give. I believe so. In my heart, I know that all of us, viewers right now, has been blessed. Um, I want you to enjoy this evening. As I close, allow me to just close in prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this time together. Thank you for reminding us that what you've given us is enough to help others. We thank you that you have poured us a heart of leadership and being a servant likewise. We thank you that it is always a privilege and an opportunity to serve others. We thank you, Lord, for this privilege that you've given us, oh God, to serve others, oh God, and to honor you as well. We thank you for this afternoon, Father. We love you. We know that you are sovereign in this pandemic, that soon we will see the viewers and us, oh God, face to face, and we'll just enjoy your goodness, oh God. We thank you for this evening, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen. So everyone, thank you. Just let's continue enjoying the night. Okay, I hope you had a great time. We will see you next week. Goodbye. God bless.